It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go!
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
Garoppolo out wide here to Samuel. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Tyler Irvin back deep. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers, Nick Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco coming back out here on offense. See, this is a team that has, in the midst of their first playoff appearance since 2013, biggest jump of any squad because just 4 wins last year, 13 this year, and that win in Seattle, Week 17, so huge. The tackle by Dre Greenlaw and Jacob Hollister on the half-yard line to preserve the victory. You think about the magnitude of that play. What a difference it would be between 3 road games if they would have been the number 5 seed versus 2 potential home games as the number 1 seed.
If they find a way to win the Super Bowl, that tackle will be remembered. It's already there with Dan Bunz's hit in the Super Bowl against Pete Johnson, the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll talk about that like Mike Jones's stop for the Rams against the Titans in the Super Bowl where he stopped them about 1 yard short. That's how big of a play that was, to give them that open week and a chance to rest, because I think that team needed it. But I'm loving what San Francisco has done. Jimmy Garoppolo, people will question him about playing in the playoffs. Go back and look at the season. He played in how many different playoff-type games? I think he'll be okay. The defense and the pass rush. And if they needed just a little extra on the top, they're going to paint the end zones red, as they normally do when the 49ers have a big-time team. And that's what they're doing for the playoffs.
Oh, the return is Irvin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Charles, this Green Bay team, they're going to get the football back here, but as they do that, it's maybe the quietest 13-3 season in recent memory. The losses to the Eagles, Chargers, and 49ers, and that's it. They will get a tough challenge against Seattle in the wild card game, but what do they need to do if they're going to get Aaron Rodgers his 2nd shot at a Super Bowl?
Continue to do a lot of what they did during the season. You're right. It was a quiet, almost unsettling 13-3 because most of the teams that they beat walked away thinking, we can beat that Packers team. And Aaron Rodgers himself said, hey, if you want to call it ugly, that's fine. I'll take 13-3 ugly. But all year long, they actually rode the running game. Aaron Jones, and now they're going to give him more carries in the playoffs. They want to make sure he got to the end of the regular season. He'll get more carries, more catches, and you saw that big game he had catching ball against Kansas City during the season. The defense with the Smith brothers, Zadarius and Preston, they get after the quarterback. If they can prevent people from running the football against them and keep those 5 and 6 DBs on the field, Green Bay could be dangerous on that side of the ball. And at some point, I expect Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers and have a big game in the playoffs.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rodgers.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Here's Rodgers to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's caught by Coleman.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This one complete to Coleman.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Well, Charles, as this offense comes out here, let's talk about the AFC Championship game coming up. Kansas City hosting Tennessee. The Chiefs, the winner over the Texans in the divisional round. But even before they took the field, they got a surprise gift on Saturday night with those Titans winning in Baltimore to set up the unexpected matchup.
But sometimes a gift isn't exactly a gift because they went from thinking they had to chase around Lamar Jackson to having to fortify themselves against Derrick Henry and the 250 pounds of man coming at him running the football. That run defense that got better as the season went on, it will get severely tested in this one.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. A throw caught by Kumaro. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jake Kumaro, 42 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the all-pro running back. Henry ends up being a 2nd-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being 1st-team running back as well as 1st-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the all-pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 39 yards there, a big one. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports Halftime Report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Akello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Throwing is Rodgers. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now, pass complete here to Sanders. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Garoppolo. That's caught. It's Coleman. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Garoppolo again. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the Battle of the Sea. He will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's look back to the AFC Championship game held earlier today. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs who are heading to the Super Bowl as they await the winner of this NFC Championship game.
Thank you, sir. As we come back for this second half.
And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary time.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Mike, here we go. 180. Check. Mike 42. You must be getting that.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Preston Smith leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to Coleman. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Gould is able to put it through, and that will knot us up at 10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. And he'll power his way up near the 25.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 32 on the play.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
They come out here in the eye. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have taken the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now Crosby for the point after. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's the spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home. Have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's the thing. Don't let the crowd get too involved if you're this team now. You've got to make sure you let them carry you, but not cause you to do things out of what you're supposed to do, right? Take you away from focusing and concentrating on the game.
Because sometimes you get so amped from the crowd that can carry you into spots you don't want to be. Is that what you're saying?
From experience, sometimes that crowd gets so involved in it and you get involved with them that you end up making plays or trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't have done.
Here we go.
The Niners on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Garoppolo, perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 22-yard touchdown grab. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gold to add the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. It's a pretty simple formula, Charles. A field goal, all you need, that wins you the game.
And the most confident guys going out on the field to direct their teams, they've probably already talked to their kicker before they went out and let him know, don't worry, you've got a chance to be a hero in this one. I'll set you up, you just knock it through the post. His plan, get the team downfield and get them into position. They've gone over it many times in practice. That's how he's going to approach it.
And now on the sideline, everyone stay away from the kicker. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Shakes off the sack. Now he'll escape to his right. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And Graham's got it, complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. He's back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Geronimo Allison there to make the grab. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They'll look to run for him with Williams. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense down by 5, a minute 8 to go. A field goal won't help. They need a touchdown to send them to the Super Bowl as they've got it 1st and 10. Back to throw. This is Coleman with a grab. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 18 yards, 1st down Niners. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Back to throw. His throw incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Garoppolo to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And it all rides on this one play, a trip to the Super Bowl in the balance here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Now a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Rodgers to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return is Pettis. Muscles him off. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. One final try now for Garoppolo. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.